Oh, welcome everybody to WagerTalk Today. I am Lawrence Presman. I ran out of gel, but I have another reason for wearing this hat. He is Teddy Covers, and you're watching the best daily all sports betting show on the planet. And it's my birthday. 50 freaking 4 years old. I thought I was old, but my mom and dad called today and wished me happy birthday. Now they're old. They got a 54-year-old son. How are you, Teddy? What's going on? How was your weekend?
So the weekend overall was real. I'm running real good. Unfortunately, the 5% big ticket was not a right side. It was a wrong side, in fact. St. Louis got shut out, and I had the over. Enough said. That being said, what am I? 78% across sports over the last 5 days, 72% over the last 10 days. I've won my last 5 in the NBA. We're running pretty good overall. Can't complain, even with the 5% going down. What about you, Lawrence?
I had a monster weekend again, man. One Friday night, lost. I went 1-2 on Saturday, but bounced back yesterday with a 3-1 night. And you know, when we have birthdays, we do these promos. I'm going to give it out now and then a few times throughout the show, and then I'm going to talk about my birthday present that you and Marco bought me. So my promo is really simple, guys. Prez 54. I am 54 years old. It's Prez 54. You get a week of all my plays for only $54 instead of $99. And to give you perspective, I've won 5 of my last 6 days of betting. I've won 13 of my last 11 of my last 13, and 17 of my last 23 days. I'm on a 25-9. All sports run, 8-1 NBA run, 9-3 NHL run, 11-4 baseball run. I don't know how to do better than what I'm doing right now. I don't think it's possible. And it's the perfect time. I timed it perfectly for our promo. Prez 54, 7 days, all access. Please take advantage of that. Now, Teddy and Marco. Let's bring Marco in. How are you, Marco? Welcome to the show.
Happy birthday, Prez.
Thank you. So, guys, I want you to know I woke up on Saturday morning to a courier. Marco and Teddy put some money together and bought me this hat. I just want to show you what this hat says, and I really appreciate it, guys.
It was nothing.
There it is. I am so appreciative that you guys recognize that I am the GOAT. Marco, how did you do this weekend? And thank you for the
basically,
present.
we split out over the weekend game-wise. We did hit both of our 4% plays Saturday and Sunday. Those were my top plays this weekend. We are in a very good position to cash another big 4% tonight as we had Denver for the series against the Lakers, and they're up 3-0. So we're in good shape on that one, and enjoyed a couple hockey games, some thrillers with the Golden Knights in Dallas. We thought that series was going to be a war, and it has been so far. 2 overtime games, 2 low-scoring games, which we thought would be the case, totally opposite of the Edmonton series.
There you go. Let's get straight into it. Actionable information. Oh, wait, Teddy, we didn't even announce who's on. So we know Marco is on. Who else, my brother? I'm still loving my hat, man. Loving my hat.
Yes, yeah. All you have to do is throw to me. I got all the guests right here. Marco D'Angelo is going to lead us off. He's going to talk a couple on MLB for today, the Rangers and the Pirates, the D-backs and the Phillies. Adam Trigger is going to join us next. He's going to talk Reds and Cardinals, as well as some, I believe it's Korean baseball. Maybe it might be Japanese. I don't know. The KT Wiz over Kiwoom. Drew Martin also is going to break down MLB, the Red Sox and the Angels, as well as another take on the Rangers and the Pirates in the BS segment. We're going to talk about cashing bets out, when you do it, when you don't. Of course, we've got your presidential address to close out the show if we get 100 likes. And that sets it up. Solid Monday edition. Let's get right in.
There we go. Randy Poss writes, I hope Dave Koken is okay. It's strange that nobody explains the situation. Randy Davis, fine. He's taking the summer off. He'll be back. He's handicapping on a daily basis. He's actually doing really well. But he's just taking some time off, and we respect that. Marco D, we got Texas playing Pittsburgh. This is a 6:35 p.m. start time. Dane Dunning versus Luis Ortiz, plus 110 for Pittsburgh, a total of 9. How do we bet this game?
There's only one way to bet this game, and that is to take Texas. My Pirates, after that great start that they have been absolutely dismal. They can't score runs. Pittsburgh has scored 4 or more runs just 3 times in their last 15 games, compared to the Texas Rangers, who have scored 4 or more in 10 of their last 11 games. So huge edge on the offensive side of the handicap of this game. And then you look at the 2 starting pitchers, and it gets even worse. Dane Dunning for Texas has made 3 starts this year. He's allowed just 3 runs in 17 innings. And you look at the Pirates, they send Luis Ortiz to the mound. He's made only 2 starts. He's lasted a total of 8 innings in those 2 starts, allowing 9 runs. I'll point out only 5 of them were earned. There were some errors in there. But here's the part that I can't buy into him as a starting pitcher. His strikeout to walk ratio, 4 strikeouts, 5 walks. His whip is 2.37. You put that many people on base per inning against a lineup like Texas, the way they're hitting the ball right now, this is a no-brainer. I got to take Texas for this one here.
Marco, I got to ask you, because this one, it feels like one of those games where there's no realistic case to be made for the other side. Dunning's been good, Ortiz hasn't. The Rangers are good, the Pirates aren't. Texas is hot, Pittsburgh isn't. Not like the Pirates' home field is worth all that. And yet, this line at minus 130, it's clear there's wide support for that in this ballgame. What are they seeing that we're not seeing? Why is this line so short? Because it just smells bad. It's so short, doesn't it?
It does, Teddy. And this is one of those ones where I haven't fired as an official play yet. And you're right. There's no reason to take Pittsburgh in this game. This would be one that you watch a little bit through the afternoon. And if you see it hold at this number or take a drop, I will not have Texas on my card. I come back and add some plays later in the day, and I wait to watch movements such as that on a game like this. If I feel the same way you do, it almost on paper looks too good. Part of it could be that the Pirates did have that tremendous hot start. And you know how when it's a bad team, they're so slow to adjust the number on them with Pittsburgh when they were winning early. Now I think they're a little bit slow getting back to where the Pirates should be. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates that I expected coming into the season.
Marco D'Angelo joining us, everyone. And Marco, I want to ask a follow-up on that. Later on in the show, every day we do a betting strategy with Teddy and the Prez. Today, we're actually going to discuss a great topic, and that is cashing out bets. But I want to jump into some betting strategy here because we spoke about this briefly a week ago, Teddy and I. And, Teddy mentions that line is too good to be true, so to speak. Do you believe in stuff like that when handicapping? Do you believe these books are laying a bad line in order to suck you into taking a bet when they know something you don't, i.e. they're trapping you?
I've had this discussion with our good friend Brian Leonard all the time about, trap games and situations when it does look too good. Yeah, I think it does. It's not necessarily that Vegas knows something that we don't know, but the best example that I can give you in football, talk about football, because that's, the most bet sport of anything. When you get a game that's 3 or 7 around there, they don't generally hang it up at that. They take a stand and they're either going to put the 2.5 or the 3.5 up there. And I look at it a lot of times. I know there's people that bet numbers and are going to argue with me life and death. They're going to take the minus 2.5 every time, just because they're going to say they figure that line's going to 3. They want the best of the number. I'll look very hard at a road team only plus 2.5 in the NFL. As unattractive as that looks to me, that it falls into that category, and they did put it on that side of the number for a reason, to try to balance the books because they know they're going to get sharp money maybe one way or the other. But yes, I do look at different things that way.
Teddy, you have any thoughts on that?
Yes. The concept of a trap line comes from this. I mean, it's a really simple concept. The general public doesn't understand what the wise guys are looking at. Period. That's what a trap line is. All right. When a line is set off where you think it should be, everything's pointing this direction, but yet it's holding. There it is, -2.5 or -3, or here's Texas at -130. There is wise guy support on the other side. If you don't know what that wise guy support is for, like in this instance, I don't understand why they're betting Pittsburgh, but they clearly are. If you don't understand why that wise guy support is there, you go, wow, this is a trap line.
Right.
What a trap line means essentially is there are pros that like the other side, and a line looks cheap to the casual bettor. It has nothing to do with actually being a trap line. It has to do with the wise guys like the other side.
Right. Well said. You're watching WagerTalk Today, everybody. It's a birthday special day. A big thanks for Teddy and Marco. They brought me the goat hat. Great colors, by the way, guys. Marco, Arizona, and Philadelphia. Zach Wheeler against Tommy Henry. Huge favorite here, -225. And man, it was originally 170 at some point, sometime. Total's been bet up as well. We have a 9. How do we bet this game?
This is another one where I'm talking about looking at the starting pitching, and there's just a huge hedge here. Tommy Henry has not been good. He's made 5 starts. He's the guy that they called up when they got rid of Baumgartner, and they really don't have any other options. 5 starts, got an ERA of 5. The whip 1.48. It's not been good. Strikeout to walk ratio, I'm big on that. His strikeout to walk ratio in those 5 starts, 13 strikeouts to 12 walks. You can't give that many free passes. I know people on the surface are going to say Arizona 7-2 their last 9 games. They're playing well. Well, I want to point out that 6 of those games came against the Oakland A's, who are the worst team in baseball, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, who, as I just said in the previous breakdown, can't score any runs right now. So that 7-2 is a little misleading on Arizona, and that's why I think this line opened up lower than it did, and the Sharps just smacked Philadelphia right away, because Philadelphia, they've won 2 in a row. They came back from a West Coast road trip, lost the first game of that homestand. Surprise, surprise. That's an angle I like to fade those teams, and come back and won the last 2. I expect Philly to go on a bit of a run right now. And when you look at Zach Wheeler and what he's been doing, last 5 starts, he's only allowed 16 runs over 5 starts. That's 3.2 runs per game, and he has pitched into the 6th or beyond in every one of those games. I'm going to take Philadelphia, but I don't want to lay that big number. So for me, because this is starting pitcher versus starting pitcher, in my opinion, I'm going to make this a first 5-inning wager. I'm going to lay the half a run with Philadelphia and bring this price down to 145, a more reasonable price range, and take Philadelphia. And here's a little stat for you on Philly. Off of a win the last 2 seasons, they're 74-45 if they won the previous game. If they won that previous game by 2 runs or less, that number becomes 38-15. I'm on Philadelphia minus the half a run, first 5 innings.
So if you want another free play on this game, you don't need to go to my page, because I'm going to read you my write-up for this, and I'm going to see what Marco says. I have a free play on my page on Arizona as an action wager today at the big plus price. And here's what I wrote. The Phillies are 5-4 in Zach Wheeler's 9 starts. They've lost at -120, -190, and -160 with him on the hill. They're not showing a profit with their ace. They're still 2 games under 500. They're still -28 in run differential. We're not talking about an elite team. The lineup isn't carrying the team. They've been held to 4 runs or less 6 times their last 7 ball games, 3 runs or less 5 times during that span. The bullpen behind Wheeler has been mediocre at best all season. Arizona doesn't have an ace on the hill, hence I'm calling this an action wager. They're the hottest team nobody's talking about. You talked about that 7-2 mark in their last 9 games. They're 13-10 on the road full season. They have the hotter lineup right now. They've averaged more than 5 runs per game during this 9 contest hot streak. And they're big, big underdogs. You really think that Philly deserves to be in the 2-1 range? You really think that even first 5 that you can lay a half with the Phillies today? Because I look at Arizona as a clear value team. It's not close to me. I don't want any part of this Phillies with Wheeler on the hill. Tell me I'm wrong.
Like I said, well, I can't tell you that you're wrong. And if you also notice, I went first 5 innings. There's another reason for that. Okay. I don't like the Philadelphia bullpen at all. Okay. So I'm taking that out of the equation. So you know what? Give me a 1-0 score after 5, buddy, and I'll start rooting for you at the top of the 6th. We can both get it.
There you go.
I can't argue with the stuff you're saying there, Teddy. But that's why I can't lay that price. But you did see this number get bet hard overnight. I think the Arizona's numbers that you're quoting, again, look at the last 6 games of who they've played. That has a big part of why those numbers are inflated the way they are.
Marco D'Angelo, everybody. Guys, Marco's got a 4% NHL best bet up tonight for only $9. He's on a 29-16 run in these 4% plays. Over the last 4 months, your profit has just been ridiculous, Marco. You've made $100 bettors over $10,000 of profit in only 4 months. So, guys, if you want to take advantage of Marco, head over to WagerTalk.com and use the promo code PREZ54. Just use it at my page, not his. Marco, anything to add?
Yeah, and I'm glad you enjoy the hat, but Teddy and I actually, they sent the wrong animal. We sent you, it was supposed to be a donkey for the World Series of Poker. I'm sorry. But if you like it, keep it.
Actually, it's funny because, Marco, it's funny. There is a donkey hat. And I actually think I'm going to buy it and wear it at the World Series. And there's a fish hat as well. So I'm going to stack up on them. Guys, make sure to play Marco. Honest to God, he's just been absolutely annihilating it. He's got a 4% NHL best bet up tonight. It's only $9. Dude, thanks for joining me on my birthday show. We love you. You're a good man. Take care of yourself.
All right.
Teddy Covers, what did we learn in the wonderful world of sports betting?
So last week, I think it was last week, I ranted about the better coach narrative in the NBA. And I'm like, all right, any sport, give me 50 better coach bets or 100 before kickoff or tip-off, and let's track them. Today I'm going to rant about the league wants narrative. The league wants the Lakers, not the Nuggets. The league wants the Celtics, not the Heat. The league wants the Celtics-Lakers finals. Scott Foster's reffing game 3. The Lakers can't lose now. The fix is in. Joker had 4 fouls. He was on the bench. The Lakers still didn't win. What could the refs or the league have done last night for Miami-Boston? The Heat were the right side from the opening tip. The game was over before halftime. The league doesn't always get what they want. And bettors who have used the fixes in betting strategy, 0-6 straight up, 0-6 against the spread in these conference finals. 4 of those 6 losses on the money line coming as big favorites. Minus 180 was the shortest of the 4. You're broke if you've been betting the fixes in theory in the NBA. I'm not a buyer of the fixes in theory on the NBA. Hence the good playoff run for myself and my clients. I encourage you, if you want to find a reason to bet on or against a team, you're allowed to think the fix is in, but you better find another reason to get on that team. Because the fix, even if it's in, is not always in. And one last thing I have to talk about here, because it's key. All right. The amount of vitriol being spewed at any team that loses a game in the postseason or loses a series. LeBron's a loser. Jaylen Brown's a loser. Missoula's a loser. Darvin Ham's a loser. D'Angelo Russell's the worst player ever. Look, 29 NBA teams are going to lose. 28 of them lose before the finals. 26 of them lose before the conference finals. Lots of great players get bounced from the playoffs. Great teams do too. There's no shame in getting there and not playing your best. The Celtics aren't losers. The Lakers aren't losers. They just run into the wrong team at the wrong time. And boy, I mean, like, the Celtics hate was insane. It's insane. Everybody in the Celtics is the worst player ever. The coach is the worst. He's got to be fired immediately. It's like, settle down, Beavis. You're overreacting just a little. It's not Boston's year. Lawrence?
Yeah, that cracks me up, Teddy. Jaylen Brown's a loser, says truck driver number 1. Anyway, I just want to shout out all the people in the chat room. And guys, I mean this sincerely. Look, Teddy and I do this every single day. And it means you guys mean a lot to me. I am not kidding you. I mean, to come in every day and see childhood greats, UC Panda, Brandon, Randy, RJ, Arsenault, who does drive me nuts at times, Big Zombies, Frank Bud, lots of love, Christopher Frey, Robert, all of you guys, Javier. I see your names every day. I feel, honest to God, like, it's like when I play hockey, it's like we're in the dressing room every day. We get to chat every day. I know you guys. I like you guys. You all mean the world to me. Thank you for your birthday wishes. I hope that you guys are coming down to the meet and greet August 19th in Las Vegas. It would be a pleasure between kicking Teddy's ass and backgammon and hanging out with Marco to say hi to you and hang out with you guys, have a drink. Maybe do some edibles, hit the craps table, whatever you want. So thank you all for coming into this chat room every single day, watching the show, and really being part of my day on a daily basis. You wanted to add something to that, Teddy?
Love it. Thank you. Let's bring
Okay,
Adam
Adam Trigger. What up, Ad? How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Prez. And I got to say one thing. I'm not leaving the craps table this year because that was a big mistake last year. I was exhausted from golf. No, I'm saying I left the craps table because I was so tired. I had to go to bed. Like the 6-hour golf day in the desert, it was tough on me. I'm not used to that. I'm from upstate New York. And as soon as I left, you, Kyle, Anthony, everyone went on a huge craps heater and won a bunch of money. So that's not a mistake I'm not going to make 2 years in a row.
Yeah, Ad, let me give you a suggestion. Leave the craps table. Leave it a lot.
Yeah.
Almost
you're
leave
the bush,
it alone.
man.
Yeah. It's
that's why they started winning, because you left. Yeah.
That's probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Craps is one of those games, Adam. If you stay around too long, things are going to go bad. Get in there, get yourself one nice juicy roll, and get the hell out. Anyway, Trig, let's get into it, man. The Reds are playing the Cardinals. You like the Reds at +1.5, I think. Tell us why.
Well, first, Prez, I got a quick story for you guys. I sent Joe Ranieri a picture earlier today. I don't know if he has it back there, but this is over the weekend. I have a big play on the Cardinals on Saturday night. Mallory and I are driving through the middle of nowhere, and I see a guy selling bird feeders in his front house, handmade bird feeders. And if Ranieri has the picture, he could put it up. He's selling one that's a Cardinal that looks just like the St. Louis Cardinals logo. I had a 5%er on Saturday night with the Cardinals. I said, you know what? I got to buy that thing. I said, if they lose, there it is. Look at that thing. I said, if they lose, this thing is going to get smashed into the middle of the driveway. It's going into the fire pit. But the Cardinals won 6-5, held on for my 5% play. That thing's now hanging in my yard, Teddy. And I put more on the Cardinals. You guys know I love this team. I've bet them to win the World Series, to win the NL. So I just want to say that the real actionable info here is that I put more on the Cardinals. I took them to win the NL Central at +200, and I took them to make the playoffs at +115 because I really do think that this team is awesome. Now, as far as tonight is concerned, I'm going to give you some numbers, and I'm going to give you maybe an alternate way to look at this. So tonight's, the Cardinals have won 11 of 14, of course, 2-0 since I bought the bird feeder. And they scored 32 runs and hit 452 against the Dodgers this weekend. My concern is here that they may come out a little bit flat for the Reds, and that the numbers, the books, have really sort of moved the needle back in their favor. You look at this, they're going on the road. They're almost a $2 favorite. They've got Jordan Montgomery on the mound, who hasn't won a game since early April. He hasn't necessarily pitched poorly, but the Cardinals don't hit for him. And man, a weekend like they had against the Dodgers, scoring the way they did, now they have to go on the road. I'm just concerned that they may be in for a little bit of a letdown here. And I like this pitcher for the Reds, Brandon Williamson. He made his major league debut last week against the Rockies in Coors Field, pitched great. And now he's going to come home. The Cardinals haven't seen him. So again, the actionable info, what I bet, I like the Cardinals to win the National League Central at +200. I think they're going to make the playoffs at +115. If you have to bet this game tonight, I think I look from a numbers perspective only to Reds plus 1.5 because I really like the young pitcher that they have on the mound. And I think you're getting great value getting the run head start there. So that's just sort of my take on the game. No client play here, but those future bets, I would have Cardinals every which way. I think they have a really good team going forward. But if you have to get involved in tonight's game, I think it's too expensive. I'd probably look to take the plus 1.5 with the Reds. Just my take on this game, this game and these two teams right now. And hopefully you can find a winner in that mix there.
So you can get Cincy in the plus 170 range to win the game, or you can get them plus 1.5, basically plus 105. That's a prevailing number. Montgomery's lost each of his last, 7 starts? The Cardinals have lost? And he hasn't pitched well.
Yeah,
he's had a couple of good games, but mostly he's been mediocre or worse.
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask Cincy to win this game at the nice plus price as opposed to the plus 1.5, plus 105?
Teddy, I don't fully trust Cincy's bullpen. And this goes back to sort of my theory with backing some of these bad teams. I prefer, and I consider the Reds, like there's redeeming qualities there. I still consider them a bad team. For me, they're a team that finds a way to lose games. If you look at the Yankees series this weekend, it's crazy that they didn't cover the plus 1.5 at least once. I mean, they either had a chance to in the 9th inning or lost in extras in all 3 of those games. Friday night, of course, they blow the game in the 9th inning. I think for me, if I was going to bet this game tonight, I'd prefer to have the run in my pocket and at a plus price. You're looking at plus 1.5 is plus 105 most places. I just think it's a better bet than plus 170 to have to win the game. That's just my take. Yeah. I'm sure there's differing opinions there.
Adam Trigger joining us. Adam, real quick, you mentioned a team doesn't hit for their pitcher. You think that's actually a thing? I mean, I know it's a thing over a 6-game start, a 10-game start, but man, does that actually factor into your handicap?
No, Prez, it really doesn't. I think it's a lot more random than I think we try to make it a thing. Now, if it's someone like Jacob deGrom, who's like the prime example for this, like when he was with the Mets team, like they just didn't hit for him. In that might be a case where it's like, okay, deGrom's on the mound today. Like we don't, they feel like they're going to win. Maybe there's a subconscious that they're not going to need to do as much. But I don't think it comes into play with a guy like Jordan Montgomery. I really think that this is just a very random statistic.
Adam Trigger joining us, everyone. You can find him at WagerTalk.com. Adam, we're going to go through the KT Wiz Kiwoom game super quick. Before we get into that, is there anything you have to promote?
Yeah, Prez, I have a 5% play going tonight. As I said, I hit my 5%er over the weekend with the Cardinals. I've got another one going tonight, and it is Monday at WagerTalk, which means it's yours for just $9. I have a 4% play in KBO, and I'm going to give it to you for free in a second. And Prez, just for you on your birthday, I'm going to make this the quickest KBO handicap of all time. 1 minute.
Okay. Guys, get your stopwatches on. Teddy, what do you think? I'll set the line at 32 seconds, over or under?
I'm going way over, dude. I'm going over a minute 5.
59 and a half seconds.
59 and a half seconds. Go.
All right, 4% play KT Wiz. If you want the long version of this, go watch Last Call with Megan Payton from Saturday. I broke down KT Wiz in detail. I bet them over on Saturday. Going into Sunday, it was a win. I'm betting them again here. They're in last place. They're not the last place team in this league, Prez. They had injuries all season. They're now healthy. Bo Salser on the mound tonight. It's a former Pittsburgh Pirate. Marco D'Angelo probably knows who he is. He was on the Pirates last year. He's now in Korea. He's been horrible. I think he's going to be better. Kiwoom has a couple big names, Addison Russell, Jung-Ho Lee, who will be in the major leagues probably next year. But the lineup outside of those two is terrible. I think Salser's the better pitcher. KT Wiz are probably the better team now that they're healthy. And that's really it. KT Wiz minus 125. I think it's a great bet. 4% client play for me.
51 seconds.
Oh, the under.
Adam Trigger, everyone.
Sharp money all over the under there. Easy win.
Wow, way to go, Ad. Way to go. We love having you on, brother. Have an incredible day. Teddy covers. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we're coming back with our BS segment. And, of course, the awesome Drew frickin' Martin.
Prez turns 54 on May 22nd, and we want to celebrate Lawrence's 54th birthday all week long by offering everyone 7 days of his selections for just $54 using coupon code PREZ54 when checking out on a 7-day all-access pass. That's every play in every sport for 7 days, including any 5% releases for just $54 versus the regular price of $99, coming out to only $7.71 per day. Over the last 365 days, Prez has picked up 60 units for his clients, and you can bet right alongside him for the next 7 days, including getting down on any rare 5% best bets released during your access that normally sell for $35 each. Just like fine wine, the Prez is getting better with age. Happy birthday, Prez, and take advantage of code PREZ54 and get 7 days for only $54.
All right, guys, welcome back to Wager Talk Today. We've got our betting strategy segment with Teddy and the Prez, and Jake Klein asked an amazing question, and one that I really do want to talk about. Now, Jake did ask a slightly different question because he did it last week, and he had used the Carolina hockey game as his example, but that game is over and done with. So I changed the question slightly, but it still has the same exact answer. Daniel, put the question up. What is your take on cashing bets out? When is it a good time to do it? So I wrote the R. My grammar was terrible. So I'm going to be really quick about this. There is never a good time to cash a bet out unless you are on a parlay, some kind of 5-teamer and one's left to go and they're up, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe in a futures environment. But as far as a straight bet goes, there is never a moment to cash a bet. And I'm going to explain this to you really straightforward. A winning bettor hits 52.45% of the time. That's somewhere around break even. If you can hit 54% over your period, you're going to make a killing. And that's at 54%. Now, let's say that you put it down $100 bet, and that $100 bet pays you $91. It's minus 110, 191, and they allow you to cash that bet out for $85. That's a $6 difference. Why not cash it out? This is the most common problem with sports fans when they're looking at a leaderboard. Oh, the Blue Jays are 6 games out with 60 to go. If they win one extra game over whoever they're chasing, they make the playoffs. No, it doesn't work that way. If you cash out a bet and lose even 5% of the value of your original bet, how many times do you have to do that in a year to totally screw up your 54, 55% win percentage? Guys, it is really hard to win sports betting. To win at a 55, 56% clip is unbelievably impressive. There's almost nobody that on this chat room in the world that is hitting 58, 59, 60% on a regular basis. Why would you lose 5 to 10% of your winning bets? Why would you give that away? And on the losing bets, why would you cash that out when they have a chance to make a comeback? Let it all ride. Let the percentages and the math take over. Do not cash out winning bets ever, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things bettors need to recognize is I talk a lot about the easy way, the simple way, the lazy way to do stuff. All right. When a book is offering you a cash out, it's real simple. They offered you something. All you have to do is one button. There it is right there. Boom, it cashed out. The money's in your account. It's easy.
Yeah.
One might call it lazy. Okay.
Irresponsible.
You talk about the future book market. The future book, look, there's a reasonable case you can make for taking some cash out offers in a future book. But with any of the stuff that the books are giving you on your phone, you boom, one bet, click, one bet, cash out, one same game parlay, one. The easy stuff is what they're making the most money on. The stuff they're featuring to you is where their hold percentage is the highest. So if you recognize that, you'll probably have a lot less with the stuff that the book is asking you to bet and start looking for bets that the book maybe doesn't want to bet quite as much. That's my take.
Yeah, and Teddy, what you're saying makes so much sense. And it's really, just to change topics, it's really related to warranties too. I mean, if you go buy a fridge at Best Buy and you buy the warranty, you're an idiot. That's where they make all their money.
So at every sports book in Las Vegas, year round, you're going to find, as you walk into the sports book, you're going to find those sheets. Odds to win the World Series, odds to win the Super Bowl, odds to win the NBA championship, odds to win everything. Every sports book all year has those up. Why? Because they're easy bets to make. People bet them the lazy way. And because the hold on them is enormous. The theoretical hold and the actual hold. Oh, we have all this liability on the Lakers at 150 to 1. Yeah, but those guys aren't going to cash it. There's a reason that they offer those future wagers the way that they do in every book. They make a ton of money off it, just like the same game parlays, and just like the cash out options. Those are all positive expectation results for the book, not for you.
Yep. Well said. Teddy D Money rocks into the chat room and says, if you're putting down $100 bet to win 91, you're a clown. Firstly, D Money, what's up with the name calling? Like, seriously, why are you insulting clowns? They make children very happy. Why are you name calling people? And what the hell is wrong with putting down $100 to win 91? What are you even talking about? What kind of bets do you make? I mean, that's literally minus 110. What is he on about, Teddy? What is he on about?
We talked about it last week, betting 110 to win 100 versus 100 to win $91.91. You don't want to go to the yes. We talked about it and said when you go to the window, don't bet 100 to win $91.91. So he's actually saying what we said last week, and now you're ripping him for it.
Oh, you called people clowns, really? I mean, I know you are a clown, but you never called anyone a clown. And there's all because you think the right way is to bet 110 to win 100 doesn't make it so. 100 to win 91 is literally the same damn thing. You're just talking about collecting change from the counter. Most of our listeners, watchers, viewers bet online. They don't have to collect change from the counter.
In which case, it doesn't matter, as I said. So there you go, Lawrence.
Guys,
great discussion.
Guys, we're going to bring Drew Martin in 2 seconds. I just want to ask you guys, listen, it's really important to me that I break the sales record this week. We are going to run the Prez 54 promo all week, and I demand, I implore, I need to break Marco's sales record. It would mean a lot to me. Drew Martin, everyone. Drew, anything to add so far about what you've heard?
Prez, Teddy, good afternoon to both of you guys. I guess good morning to you, Teddy. And I guess I would just throw out two things here with Teddy. I don't know that it really matters. I guess if you wanted to bet 100 to win 90, whatever, or, risk 110 to win 100.
Only at the casino, only if you're at the book itself. So the guy doesn't have to give you change back. It slows down the line. You don't get change when you're at the book. If you're doing it on your phone or your computer, it doesn't matter. But when you're at the book, you bet 110 to win 100, not 100 to win $91.91.
Okay.
That's all.
Love it. Yeah, perfect. That makes total sense. And I'm a guy that, would risk more to win the 100. But yeah, and I guess with the cash out, it's not something I've ever really done. And I thought that was a great explanation there, Teddy. I mean, if the sports book's really pushing it down your throat, kind of watch out. Maybe pump the brakes, maybe look to, watch out for that stuff. But I will say this, if they are kind of marketing those like bonus promos, take advantage of that, guys, because some of those are pretty nice. I mean, read the fine print. You're going to have to likely leave your money there for a little bit. But like at the start of football season, we're seeing some of, the big books here in the U.S. start to really push up those promos. And if you're going to be betting thousands of dollars throughout the football season anyway, might as well take advantage of those big kind of money backs when you deposit the money there. That's the one thing I would say. If they are promoting something, maybe take advantage of that.
Well said, Drew. Drew, let's get into it, man. The Boston Red Sox, third best hitting team in baseball, maybe the best bullpen in baseball. They're playing the LA Angels. We got basically pick them in both directions. Minus 115 for LA, 9.5 is the total. How do we bet this game?
It's an interesting one. A little late night action here, but I will say this: Boston 4-1 their last 5. They've won 21 of their last 34. They're over 500 on the road here. Been good on the road to start this series, taking 2 or 3 from the Padres. I guess, man, just looking at the pitching stats here, I like kind of fading velocity down a little bit, and Hawk has that here. His former first-round pick for the Sox in 2017, but he's given up 13 earned runs in his last 16 innings. So therefore, going up against this Angels, we know they got big names in the lineup. Seeing this total single digits, guys, it's not necessarily a hitter's ballpark. It is at night on a West Coast, but might look for runs here late night. So I would look to bet the Sox and the Halos over the total here.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Prez's assessment about the Boston Red Sox bullpen as being, did he say it might have been the best one in baseball?
One of, but it's okay, Teddy. If I said they were the worst, you would have disagreed.
Total 9.5 in this game. Drew, this, like in LA at night, can we bet over 9.5? This does feel really high for this ballpark.
Yeah, it is. I think there's a good reason, though. I will say that, and you're right off the top. West Coast at night, pitcher's ballpark. But overall, sometimes you give me the hitting advantage over the pitching advantage. We've seen it numerous times. It gets up and over. Not to mention, the rules. This is a near pick'em price tag, meaning. It's something I've started to use in my handicap a little bit. The odds of it going to extra innings are increased by a slight margin here. And every little bit you get on your side, putting that runner on second base, let's put it in our back pocket. So overall, Teddy, hey, it's the reason it didn't make the client card, but I did touch it a little bit. Late night action, if you're looking for it, it is single digits. And I think we see double digits tonight between the Red Sox and the Halos.
There we go. Drew Martin joining us, everyone. Drew, Texas and Pittsburgh. Marco came on. He liked Texas. You want to discuss this game? Where are we going?
Sure. I'm sure he touched on some of these points, and I guess Marco and I are lining up. Happy hour special here, 6:30 Eastern. And Dane Dunning's been hot, 1.69 ERA, normally out of the pen to start this season. Now they're putting him in the rotation. If you haven't seen him pitch, he's got his glasses on. He looks like a reliever, but he's been good, and I like riding hot hands, really in sports betting overall, Prez. But with starting pitching in particular, and for bullpens for that matter, but 37 innings and that low of an ERA, his advanced metrics are good as well. He's up against Ortiz here, the 24-year-old Dominican. He doesn't have a whole lot of time in Major League Baseball, so it's a real volatile handicap for the Pirates starting pitcher, but he does have 5 walks and 2 starts. I love fading pitchers that are having trouble finding the strike zone. I think it just puts him behind in the count, and he's going up against Texas here. Number 1 lineup in baseball in the last week, guys, by weighted runs created plus. I love that metric, nearly 50% better than average. So I think he's going to have a tough time tonight. Beautiful ballpark here in PNC. Texas is playing some good baseball. In Pittsburgh, actually, the Pirates just 4-13 in the month of May. So a little bit of ride the hot, fade the cold. That puts me on Texas as the short favorite here, minus 130.
Drew Martin says, take a look at the Rangers as short road chalk in Pittsburgh this evening. Drew, what do you have to promote over at WagerTalk.com? What do you got going? How are you running? Tell a little bit about what you have for your clients and prospective clients on $9 Monday.
Sure, Teddy. Yeah, appreciate that. Not running all that great, man. The last week has been a little bit down. I did hit a 5% max limit on Saturday, which was nice, but gave a little bit back yesterday. I'll tell you this. Hey, Monday's a new day. Looking to start off here and rake in a little bit of profits this week. I'm kind of feeling it, guys. So putting in putting in the time last night, researching the card, and got a $9 Monday big bet up and available for tonight's slate. I really like in a pretty big game, marquee game here. So
Nice.
check it out,
Nice.
guys. $9 Monday.
Drew Martin, everyone. Drew, host of First Pitch, our baseball show. What time's it on, and who are your guests today?
2:00 Eastern time, guys. So come check it out right on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Of course, we got the Gold Sheet play of the day, a big part of the show now. They've actually been running hot, and today's slate is Marco D'Angelo, Dwayne Bryant, and the legend himself, the man that is your partner in crime, Teddy Covers. So it's bound to be a good show. Come join us at 2:00 Eastern.
Sorry
guys.
about that. Sorry you got to deal with Teddy Covers. Drew Martin, everyone. Teddy, we got 128 likes, 400 people watching. I would have liked to have seen more likes. But anyway, I thought it was a fun show. Daniel, it's time for the daily presidential address. All right, everybody, it's time for your daily presidential address. I've got 2 baseball picks to give out on the show, and Teddy will join us towards the end with a pick himself. Before we get into that, I want to mention my promo again for the 800th time. It is my birthday. I am 54 years old. The promo code is Prez54. 7-day all-access pass over at WagerTalk is $99. You guys can get it for only $54. We are going to break all the records at WagerTalk for sales this week. This promo will run all week long. A little secret, if you buy 5 of them, they stack up on top of each other, so you can just continue the promo. If you buy 100 of them, they go for 100 weeks. Anyway, let's break that record. Prez 5-4. I am on a 25-9 all sports run. Just absolutely killing it. Won 11 of my last 13 days. Teddy Covers. My 2 plays are Cleveland on the money line and Boston over. What do you like, brother?
I gave it out earlier on the show. I think Arizona is live today in Philadelphia. The money keeps coming from the Phillies. You get a 2-to-1 price tag right now, plus 200 on the D-backs. I think they're live in that ballgame. If you don't want them to win, take them plus 1.5. But I'm going to give the Phillies a bat.
There you go. Thank you, everybody. Teddy, I'm going out for dinner, for lunch with my girls, dinner with my parents. Take us home.
Good. Then I won't have to see you the rest of the day. That's going to wrap it for the Monday edition of Wager Talk Today. Happy birthday, Prez. The Prez birthday show is officially over now. Tomorrow I'll be back to normal Wager Talk TV, which is fairly similar to the Prez birthday show. That being said, best of luck with all your wagers tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow right here on Wager Talk Today.
Prez turns 54 on May 22nd, and we want to celebrate Lawrence's 54th birthday all week long by offering everyone 7 days of his selections for just $54 using coupon code PREZ54 when checking out on a 7-day all-access pass. That's every play in every sport for 7 days, including any 5% releases for just $54 versus a regular price of $99, coming out to only $7.71 per day. Over the last 365 days, Prez has picked up 60 units for his clients, and you can bet right alongside him for the next 7 days, including getting down on any rare 5% best bets released during your access that normally sell for $35 each. Just like fine wine, the Prez is getting better with age. Happy birthday, Prez, and take advantage of code PREZ54 and get 7 days for only $54.